Yesterday, 27-year-old Anthony Hill was shot and killed in Chamblee, Georgia. And at the time of the shooting, he was naked and unarmed. So a witness to the fatal police shooting of a naked, unarmed man here said that the man had approached the officer with his hands in the air, prompting the frightened officer to shoot at close range with a handgun. The witness explains further that he was naked and on all fours in the parking lot when the police officer, who is white, arrived in his squad car, parking a good distance away. When Mr. Hill saw the officer, he stood up and moved towards him with his hands raised, and the officer, obviously frightened, yelled for him to stop. The witness said that he did not see a scuffle, but that he did see the officer pull out the handgun and shoot Mr. Hill. So obviously, this is awful. This is our third fatal police shooting of an unarmed black man in the past 5 days. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is examining the shooting, and the officer was placed on administrative leave pending the results of the investigation. So the shooting here took place outside of a residential complex in the area, and residents of this complex have come out to talk about how they knew Mr. Hill, saying that he was a common friendly person, that he used to pick up trash at a nearby playground. A cousin of Mr. Hill's mother said that he was a veteran of the Air Force and that maybe he was having some difficulties with his medication. But clearly, at this time, he was not an imminent threat to the police officer. I mean, he's had his hands up with nothing in his hands.
Yeah.
Well, not just nothing in his hands. I mean, the guy is naked. He literally could not have hidden the weapon anywhere.
Right.
This has now gotten to an absurd level. I mean, if we made up a scenario like this, I mean, would they shoot an unarmed guy even if he was naked? You'd say, oh, come on, man, don't be ridiculous, right? No, you're being unfair to the cops. They obviously wouldn't do that. No, they would do that, and they just did do that.
Right. And
yet another case where the officer's white and a guy who's shot is black. And okay, that's one part of it. But to me, the fact pattern is, that's most important is, no mid measures. There's no, hey, let me tackle the guy. Hey, let me call for backup. Hey, this guy's obviously crazy. He's naked and running around. He's obviously got some sort of issues. Now, in this case, maybe it was PTSD because he was a veteran. I don't know, right? And no taser, no pepper spray. Immediately go nuclear. This guy clearly cannot do any lethal damage to you. He has no weapon whatsoever. There's never been a clearer case. You execute him anyway.
Well, he might have reached for his gun, right? Because now that's the go-to excuse that cops are using when it comes to these cases where an unarmed person is shot and killed. But what I found interesting was that initial reports, and this is based on initial reports, I don't know if this is going to change or what's going on. The witness said that the cop had a taser. So what I don't understand is why a taser and pepper spray. So why weren't these non-lethal weapons used to restrain the guy? Now, he was obviously having some sort of episode, okay? There were other witnesses there that said that he was acting up. He was apparently going to a second-floor balcony and jumping off repeatedly, doing it over and over again. He was acting crazy. There's no question about that. But A, cops are not and should be trained in dealing with situations like this, where it might deal with possible mental illness or someone who might be on drugs. I don't know what the situation was here because the initial reports don't have those details. But also, B, cops should use non-lethal weapons when it comes to these issues. You don't immediately go to a gun. I don't know. And look, I don't blame the cop if he was a little scared. I mean, as a cop, you shouldn't be afraid of a naked person that's unarmed coming toward you. But apparently the cop told him, stop, don't come any closer, don't come any closer. And he continued to come closer because he obviously wasn't in the right state of mind. Right. And the cop's reaction is, oh, let me shoot him at close range. No, there are other ways to deal with it. It's just amazing to me.
No, I think that's the issue, is that when cops are afraid of people for doing nothing. I mean, we had the same thing with the LAPD guy, you know, with the homeless man. Like, I don't understand if somebody's clearly mentally ill and they're calling cops to come help them, which is what they're supposed to do as police officers. I don't understand why their first reaction is to, oh, let me shoot him 6 times. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, look, I know why. That's because they train them. Hey, everybody be cowards. If there's 1% chance you're going to get harmed in any way, and that guy could scratch you, you know. He's got nails, weapons, right? Just shoot him down like a dog, okay? Because your well-being, I mean, God, you might get a boo-boo, you might need a Band-Aid. Your well-being is so much more important than that guy's life, okay? And you know, I've said that many times, and this case proves it above and beyond. We've got now dozens and dozens of cases we've covered on the show. I mean, you look at this, it looks like open season, right? Now, but there's one other aspect to this. It's not just the getting hurt. I think they're now implicitly being trained. If anyone disobeys your order for what, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, fuck it, shoot him. Disobeying a police order is not acceptable. That's how they're taught. Never acceptable! Okay, we must control the situation. And if you don't do exactly as I tell you, I'm going to pull out my gun, and a lot of times I'm going to use it. It doesn't matter if you're not a threat. It doesn't matter that you're completely unarmed. In the most obvious case in human history, I'm still going to shoot you because, you know, I'm a little scared you're charging at me. Oh, you're naked. I don't know. Ooh, then I might have to take a shower. Why don't I just execute you instead? Plus, you didn't listen to what I said. Hey, idiot! He's obviously got mental issues. If I ran into a naked person in the middle of the street and he's charging at me, would I think, oh, this guy means to do me harm. He's got a plan. No, I would think that obviously he's having an episode, right? And he might do me harm. Mm-hmm. Why don't I call for backup, right? I mean, as a human being, let alone a citizen, let alone a police officer, I'd be like, hey, J.R. Jesus Ben, somebody help me. This guy's rushing at me. I wouldn't think let's murder the guy.
Right.
What kind of a person thinks let's execute him, man? So we have trained our police. They're not bad people. They're human beings like everybody else. We have trained them to be the most indecent people in the country. Because no decent person would shoot a naked person like that. You wouldn't do it in your real life. You know it. Okay? I don't care how bad a guy you are. You don't just see a naked guy who's obviously having mental problems rush at you and think, let me put a bullet in this guy's head. Nobody would think that, except they've trained the cops to think that. And that's the most disturbing part. Okay, got worked up again. But really, I mean, you should get worked up. Who's not at this point a threat to cops?
Right.
Who's not a threat to cops?